Monday morning start sit show brought to you by the IDP guys. What's going on, everyone? We are joined today, newcomer to the show, Logan, as well as Will and Hollywood here. So let's just go around the room real quick and introduce ourselves to those who maybe are watching this for the first time. And Logan, since you're first on the show, go for it.
Yeah, hi. My name is Logan. My Twitter handle is Sports Talk Smart. I do the rankings weekly for IDP guys, and I do some dynasty rankings, redraft rankings for the year, weekly, all that stuff. So I've got a little bit of insight on that. So I'm glad to be here for the first time on live stream. So
nice. Here we go.
Glad to be here, like I said.
Awesome. Will, what do you got going on? How are you feeling almost 4 weeks into the season with what you do?
I'm okay. It's a roller coaster, but I always tell people it's a marathon, not a sprint. But at the end of the day, I still got to win the race. So, we're going and finishing the first quarter of the season. That's the way that I look at it. I think the NFL giving us one extra game this year is going to probably save me. But I've been doing pretty well. Got to do some betting content as well as player props, DFS content for IDP guys. So you guys can find me on Twitter at biasedopinions_ for all your betting needs, any advice, things of that nature. So we talked about this though this past week, Nathan. I'm going to stay away from locking in any running backs moving forward for Thursday Night Football. They haven't been turning out really well, so I'm going to stay away from that. Going to try to dig deeper and look at some other skill positions, and then hope for the best. Let's do it.
Yeah, you're like the fantasy Grim Reaper there with your choices at running back. Hollywood, how are you feeling? Did I see that your college team put up some numbers last night? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we hung a 60 burger on Missouri's ass yesterday. Yeah. Oh yeah,
nice.
It was great.
There you go. Cool, good stuff. All right, for everyone out there, if you're listening to the show, send us your questions, and we'll be here to answer them. In the meantime, let's look and see. Are you guys thinking about any specific matchups that you're keying into today? Will, you do the betting stuff, so why don't you take us through a matchup you like and some props you're interested in today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking at the games that are high scoring, or listed as going to be high scoring on the on the schedule today. So I'm loving the Kansas City at Philadelphia game. I think that Kansas City losing last week, they're going to come out be inspired. So I'm not only looking at the over under, which is set at 54, but also at Kansas City coming out and playing as good as they can, because they just had a disappointing week. I think that listen, if anybody had Kansas City being 1-2 entering week 4. Again, please run out to your nearest grocery store, supermarket, gas station, and play the lottery, because that just wasn't something that anybody saw coming. And then Arizona at LA Rams, I think that's going to be another good game, not only with the over in that game, but as well as a player prop. So I'm going to have a lot of action in there. And then the two late night games. We got Tampa Bay at New England, and then tomorrow I love the Las Vegas and Chargers game. So looking for it to be a good Sunday, good matchups all around. And the last one, still got to look into it. The Dallas game. Dallas game looks pretty interesting. I just don't know if Carolina is going to be able to do anything or even keep up with them offensively, just for the simple fact that CMC is out. But Chuba Hubbard could come in and do his thing. I was pretty high on him when he was in college, so I think he will be able to do some things today. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing.
Nice, very good. Looking forward to it. What about you, Hollywood? What are you looking at as your matchup this week you're keying into?
Well, I'm looking a little bit everywhere. There's a lot of them, really. I'm looking with the Titans, I guess. You look there with some of their defense, like Kevin Byard. Is he going to be able to take advantage of the rookie quarterback throwing? He's thrown a lot of picks. So is that something he's going to be able to do? You're looking at, I guess, on the flip side with A.J. Brown and Julio out, is those linebackers for the Jets going to rack up a lot of tackles? Because you got to assume that they're going to run Henry to death. So there's a lot of opportunities there. And then I'm kind of curious about the Sunday night game. What's going to happen? Is it I can't imagine the emotions. I know everybody's trying to downplay it, but Brady and Belichick, they woke up this morning with their hearts pounding out of their chest because they want to show each other up. So, Belichick's going to want to have his defense dialed in. Brady's going to be looking to torch New England's defense. So, I know everybody's kind of tired of talking about it, but I'm excited to watch that one tonight.
Very good.
Hollywood,
very
good. Do you think that they have a chance? You think the Patriots have a chance out there tonight?
Oh, that's tough. If Brady is locked in, I don't think they will. Now I give him a little bit of hope because Belichick he knows what he's doing. He's no pushover, so he's going to know how to scheme. He's going to know who to put where and all that good stuff. So I think they'll kind of hang in it a little bit, but I just think Brady's going to be too dialed in. He's going to want to put 50 on the board if he can.
Yeah, I agree. I actually got a couple of plays in that game as well. So here we got Nathan with the Detroit Lions shirt there. Detroit is coming in as an underdog against Chicago. I think I'm going with Detroit, Nathan. But I know that after you speak about them, I'll probably I'll change my mind. So please give me some insight as to what you think that game's going to be played out.
So this is actually the first game where I think they've got a chance to win.
Okay.
I think that they've been playing really good football, surprisingly enough, except for Jared Goff. Jared Goff still makes really bad decisions. But despite his terrible decision-making, they've stayed in games, a lot of it having to do with that 1-2 punch of Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. Those guys have been really kind of punching. It's a run game that we haven't seen in Detroit in a very long time. And so I think based off the fact that if Justin Fields is starting, I think Detroit gives him just as much trouble as he saw last week. And I think Detroit could come away with this game. I think it'd be close. I don't think Detroit's going to run away with it. And, at this point when we're 0-3 in the season, like we're at the top of the list for picks. We can win a game. It's all right. It's not going to do any harm to like beat the Bears here real quick. I'm for it. I'm for that happening. Detroit should be 2-1 this year. I don't know. I don't know if they should be. They could have been, but I don't know. As long as they stay at the top of that race for the first pick, I'm fine with them winning a game or two.
Well, listen, we my New York Football Giants are right there with you. We could have, should have, and probably would have been 2-1 as well coming into this week, but we're not. So we're right up there at the top. The draft is going to be taking place in Las Vegas next year. I am planning to be in attendance. One of the good things is that if we do get a top pick, I can go ahead and be present for the top pick, and then hit the sports book. There's going to be basketball season. Is going to be there, so that's fine. I'll go in, see where we're going to pick and who we're going to pick, and then go from there. But yeah, I think that you guys did have a good opportunity to be 2-1 coming in. Unfortunately, you're not, but I do like this game. I just don't think that going up against a team where the head coach is pretty much offering up all three quarterbacks as an options to start in Chicago is a good thing. So we'll see. And also them being an underdog in the spot, I really like that spot where they're at, just on a gambling standpoint.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm going to throw this real quick. Nelson J. Delgado, he asked y'all only taking IDP cues. No, we will take any fantasy football question from I don't know, IDP, offense, Superflex. We could even do some Devy questions, Campus Canton, if you have anything there. So I see he's got a question in, but before we get into that, I do want to talk to Logan here. We've given everyone else a few minutes. Logan, first off, like the matchup you're keying in on, that you're seeing, that you're looking to enjoy today, but also give a little insight. You do the weekly rankings for IDP guys. What goes into that for you?
Oh yeah, so I'll start with that weekly ranking question. So I like to, I watch as much as I can, of every single play, and then I'll go back and watch the film through the week. And I take a lot personally into what I think, like how the offense looks, how the player looks, and that's a lot goes into that. But it goes into how many points they scored, their matchup, who's like what key defense players might be out for them to have a bigger game, stuff like the regular stuff. But I try to dig as deep as I can into it, and yeah, I kind of do my own personal start-sit questions, throw them at myself, hit some randomizers and see where I'm at. And then I'll kind of rank based on there on who I would personally start. So the things I would say in my weekly rankings and today would be what I'd personally do as well. So like, I wouldn't advocate for you to do something that I'd be over there not doing. So.
Right. Nice. Good stuff. So let's get into our first question here. Also from Nelson Delgado on Facebook. He just picked up Taylor Rapp as a free agent on ESPN, and another IDP ranking, he was listed as top 3 or 5 in the DB, on others outside the top 10. How do you guys feel about him, especially compared to his teammate Fuller, who is also available? And it's a two-parter. I had Poyer, by the way, and wanted to upgrade from Antoine Winfield. Thanks, guys. I appreciate what y'all do for the IDP community. Thank you. Awesome. So what do you guys think? Taylor Rapp, is he a start? How are you feeling about him? We can start with Logan since you do the rankings. So where is he at in your rankings?
I can go look where I have him, but he's probably a top 10 option. He's pretty consistent. He even pulled off a half sack, I think, last week. I think he's been averaging almost 70 snaps, and he's a solid player too. And that defense today, especially with Arizona, I think he's going to be busy in that defensive backfield there up there in the secondary. Yeah, I think he's a good play. And in regards to Fuller, he's probably a good play as well, but I think I like Rapp a little more.
Nice. What do you think, Hollywood?
You're on mute.
You are on mute.
You're on mute.
My bad. Rapp's a good play this week. Definitely a top 10 play, I would say. Fuller's going to be a good one, too. Like Logan said, they're going to be busy, so I would expect plenty of opportunities. Sucks that Poyer's out this week because he's one of the top guys. But if you can get either one of those, Rapp or Fuller, then do it by all means. They're going to have a lot of chances today.
Very good. Very good. Nice. All right. So if you're listening out there, make sure and get questions in. And let's pull some questions actually from our subscriber chat. So if you become an IDP guy subscriber, obviously you get Logan's weekly rankings. You get a ton of great content. But you also get into our subscriber chat, and there on the Sunday mornings, there's a team of, I don't know, what do we got on staff, like 20 guys just going through answering questions right now. So let's pull here we go. Isaiah Simmons or Patrick Queen?
I go Patrick Queen.
We got Queen as well.
Yeah, Queen. Yeah, I'm going Patrick Queen. Yeah.
They're playing Denver, correct? And that's
I'm still not a believer. I understand the record and everything, but I'm still not a believer in Teddy Bridgewater. So I just think that Queen's in a much better spot than Simmons is, and so it's going to be a lot of points. It's going to be a lot of points being put up in that other game. So I'd stay away from him.
Gotcha. All right. Start 3. Jordan Hicks, Shaq Thompson, Patrick Queen, Jordan Brooks, Foye Oluokun.
Again, I'll stay with Queen on this one, and then you guys can pick the other two.
I think I'm avoiding Hicks because I think the Rams are going to be throwing all over the place, and I don't think they're going to run a ton. I like like he said, for sure, Queen's your one there. Shaq Thompson against the Cowboys with Pollard and Zeke all over the place. You got to be playing him. And then who are the other two? Foyesade. He's not a bad play against Washington, but who was the last one? Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks or Olakun is where I'm. What do you think, Hollywood? There.
I might go. Yeah, definitely Queen and Shaq Thompson.
For sure.
I don't really like the other choices. Maybe I go Jordan Hicks right here as the third one, but it would be between him and Foyesade, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they're close, so it's like a toss-up, I guess, between those two.
Okay, so starting one alongside Myles Garrett. So just pick one of these guys: Cam Jordan, Yannick Ngakoue, Rasheem Green, or Jalen Phillips.
Jordan.
Cam Jordan. All right.
Yeah, he's the better one of the group.
Yeah, unfortunately, going up against my guys, but yeah.
He'll be busy.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Andrew Thomas is looking good, though. So hopefully he sees him. He can do something about it and keep the offense running.
Yeah, it's just, just being realistic. I mean, you got Shepard's going to be out, Slayton's going to be out, so Danny Dimes is going to have a lot of pressure, even more pressure than usual on his shoulders today. Yeah. So don't feel good in that spot. And Cam is just good pretty much on a weekly basis anyway. But then also considering the opponent is just going to be even a better game for him today.
Nice. All right, here we go. From YouTube, Joe E. What are your thoughts on AJ Epinessa going forward?
I think you got to pump the brakes. I mean, I was super high on him, still am, but until they get rid of some of these old guys like Addison and my mind went blank, the other guy that's the veteran there, until they kind of move on from them, I think you kind of got to hold. Maybe next year they do that because they've got the speed rusher with Rousseau, and then they've got Oliver and the other youngster they drafted, Boogie Basham, to bring in. So I think you need that big guy like a Mario Addison, and that's kind of what Epinessa reminds me of, is that big, strong, edge-setting option on the outside. So maybe once they move on from the veterans, it'll be his time. And he showed some flashes. I mean, he's done well. I don't think he's somebody you're starting this year unless you have to, but I'd keep him on my bench and hold and see what's going on.
What do you think, Logan?
I was going to say, like, exactly what he said. He's basically kind of buried a little bit, but he has shown when he's played, he looks good. I like him as a player for sure, but if you're trying to start him this year, you're probably going to be, hoping for a big play and his limited snaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So Logan, what's your favorite team?
I'm a Chiefs fan.
Chiefs fan. Okay,
Chiefs.
Nice.
You see that jersey? You see that jersey?
Yeah, Mahomes jersey for sure.
Good stuff. All right. So, if you guys are out there listening, send us your start set questions. We are here to answer them. You guys personally looking at? Yeah, go for it, Hollywood.
So what are y'all doing with Jonathan Taylor?
He's top 5 in red zone share. Like, he can't.
So you're not scared off by the injury this week, the hamstring tweak or whatever it was he had?
No, not unless you have a really great option. He's one of those guys you got to play him. I think he's due. I think it's a big week for him, even with a little bit of an injury scare. Like, unless you got another guy with top 15-ish upside and you're starting him, like maybe Miles Sanders. I know people hate him, but against the Chiefs, I think he's in for a big week. They allow.
He is my number 2. That's why I'm asking. I don't really have a lot of options behind him. So,
yeah,
I have a player like Pollard, but I don't think he's going to see enough touches to surpass him this week.
Yeah, I don't think I could play Pollard over Jonathan Taylor this week, especially with the Dolphins being weak against allowing a lot against the run lately too. So
Logan, I also think it's more so what they're doing in Philly. They're just not giving Miles Sanders that
right,
the production, right? I mean, they what was it like last game that they played? They started giving him the ball in the second quarter. That's ridiculous. I mean, he's definitely a good option there, a top running back. I mean, you got to start off at least every single series. You got to give him the ball. If not rushing, but coming out the backfield. So I don't know what they were thinking. So it's not so much him. I think it's the offensive coordinator and the coach. So I'm just like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, for sure. It's more the usage because, like you said, he got a carry. It was the second quarter, and it was like a 24-yard run, and then he didn't even get another carry again until like the third quarter after that. Like
he should have easily had over 100 yards rushing in that game. Easily.
I agree. Yeah, I would say people hate him as a fantasy option. I guess it's more of a. It's more. Yeah, I personally love him. The talent. I'm a big Saquon fan, so Penn State. I love him coming out too.
There we go.
But yeah, it's more of, like you said, it's the offense and the usage. And I think, Jalen Hurts is still early in his career, but there's some times where he very well could have handed it to Sanders and he yanked it and wanted to make the play himself and it caused a couple illegal man downfield on an RPO. Like, you got to hand it off sometimes. You got to give Miles the ball. He's good. He's got to get touches. So, and I think he's going to kind of eat the Chiefs alive today if they give him the ball. So.
All right, we got a question here from Grant on YouTube. What would you suggest for Dalvin Cook owners with him expected to play versus Cleveland? So are you feeling confident to start Dalvin Cook? Are you still waiting to see?
That's a loaded question. I mean, I need to know who else is on the team because it depends on what other options you have back there. But, Dalvin Cook, in Minnesota, he's going to get the carries. Zimmer loves run the ball. He wants to stay true to that identity out there in Minnesota, no matter what's happening, no matter how the game's going. But then again, on the flip side, Cleveland Browns defense is pretty good. So it's just one of those things. Okay, yeah, Dalvin Cook is going to get the production, but then also who else do you have behind them, and what are those matchups looking like as well?
Gotcha. There it is. So I got a personal start set that I want to, I guess, bounce the idea across you guys here. Baker Mayfield versus Minnesota or Lamar Jackson versus Denver. Which one you like in there?
I'm going Baker. I just think that the altitude in Colorado is like a real thing. I'm not sure if Lamar has played in Denver yet in his professional career. I'm not sure. He may have, but also if you look at the over-under is pretty low. So both of these defenses is pretty stout, and I just think that Denver's defense is real. So I think that, listen, Lamar's always going to do his thing, but I just think that in a game where you've seen that Minnesota can put up points, I think Baker Mayfield is going to have to come back and match that. So the opportunity for Baker to hit, especially OBJ is back. He had a great game last week, so I just like them in that spot. Kareem Hunt coming out the backfield, I think that he does probably surpass Lamar Jackson this week in fantasy.
Nice. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I picked him up off the waiver wire and plugged him in. Gotta love those 1 QB leagues where there's good options on the waiver wire. All right, here we go. Joe E on YouTube. Cordero Patterson, is this legitimate or is the first 3 weeks a fluke? What do you guys think?
I don't think it's a fluke.
I think I'm in on him.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been this type of player, even all the way back to his days at Tennessee. It's just he's never really been featured this way as much. So, I mean, he was this way in Chicago, everywhere he's been. So, I think it's real. It's a real thing.
Nice. Here we go. Malcolm Merriweather. Any linebackers from Chargers worth starting?
I say no. If Murray's out or not going to play a lot, then I would look somewhere else probably. Just my opinion on it. If you've got better options, I would look elsewhere.
That's going to be I'd stay against Vegas. I'd stay away.
Murray is fine, but
All right. Hollywood, you got any more start sits on your end to think about, or anyone else got something to throw in here? For those out
George
there,
Kittle?
George Kittle, do you start him?
He's questionable. Last I saw, he's supposed to play.
Who else do you have?
My other tight end is Dallas Goddard.
Ooh.
Huh.
And I can only start one, so.
Man, that middle of the field against the Chiefs, we get eaten alive.
Thanks
man.
for the help, fellas.
Yeah, we get
think,
eaten alive in the middle, man. That's
yeah,
a tough one.
and again, I just think that that Philly's going to be down early. I think that they're going to be down early. Again, I think that Kansas City is highly motivated. Again, and if you're looking at the total set at 54.5, Vegas thinks that this is going to be a high scoring game. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities there for the passing game. I'd go with Goddard. Because just not if you look at Kittle's career, every time he's injured, I mean, when he's on the field, he's good, but him coming off an injury, I'd stay away from him. I mean, Goddard is not a horrible option coming in for Kittle, or at least for 1 week. So I go with Goddard. In this situation.
One thing, it's a big play league, so the longer the touchdown, the more points you get. So, if it's a 20-yard touchdown, you get the yardage, of course, but you get 2 for the touchdown. If it's a 90, then you get 9 for the touchdown. So it's a big play league. So
nice. Yeah. Again, I just think. Yeah. See, both of these games are set to be high scoring games. You got the Chiefs game at 54.5, and then you got the Seattle and San Fran game at 51.5. So they're set to score a lot of points there, but I just think that, if Goddard's the healthier option, I'm going to go with the healthier option. And I think that Jalen Hurts is going to have to do some things. And I think he's going to want to go ahead and make up for his poor performance last week. Don't know if anything could really be done with his inaccurate throws and poor decision making at times. But, you got to sometimes take a risk and see what's going on there.
All right, Goddard it is then.
There we go.
It is. All right, off of Facebook, Malcolm Merriweather. Gaskins, Corey Davis, or Christian Kirk in his flex. He needs one. Hunter Renfrow and Callaway from the Saints are in free agency, so on the waiver wire. Who do you like to choose one?
Ooh.
So I'm staying away from Corey Davis. Just that whole Jets deal is just not good. Indianapolis.
I go Kirk.
I mean, it's going to be. It's a low scoring total there at in Miami. It's 42.5. Staying away from that. Again, you got to look at the when you're thinking about fantasy plays or even DFS or just player props and betting. You got to look at the total. The total there in Arizona is at 54.5. So I do like Christian Kirk. Rondell Moore does his thing as well. Might take some snaps from him or some targets, but Kirk is a deep threat. So you could have one or two plays where it's pretty much filling in the box score there, the stat sheet.
Nice. I like Christian Kirk in that. Any other opinions there? Anyone else want to chime in?
Yeah, I like Kirk. I think, like I said earlier, it's going to be a showdown through the air, and with Arizona and the Rams. So, and like you said, I'm avoiding. Zach Wilson hasn't been playing too well. Avoiding the Jets, and low totals I could see happen in Miami. So, yep, Kirk for me.
Cool. All right. Skinny Chef, JOK or Justin Strand?
Let's see what I have them.
I would go JOK.
I have JOK higher as well.
Okay. Nice. There it is. All right. If you're listening to the show, just send us a message with your start sit question or any question regarding fantasy football. We're here to take the questions one at a time and go through. So let's double back a little bit. That question from Grant about Dalvin Cook. He had a follow up.
Oh.
If Dalvin Cook is going to be healthy enough to make it through that game. Obviously, you can never really predict what where someone's at with an injury or know enough, but if they're pushing him out early, maybe you don't take that chance, and because he could come out and it wouldn't make sense though for a team to play their star player on injury too early, because then they might go out for much longer for sure. So what are your thoughts on that, on Dalvin Cook's injury status and whether or not he should be in your lineup at all?
Again, if you look at Zimmer's history with using running backs and his philosophy on how he wants to go ahead and be his team's identity, he's always going to go towards a run game. Dalvin Cook is definitely a top three running back in this league. So I say if he's on the field, whether he's 100% or 80%, I'm always going to go with Dalvin Cook until he's taken out. Obviously, like you said, Nathan, you can't predict any injuries happening during the game.
Right.
You would hope that he stays healthy throughout the game and he finishes the game, but I just think that with Dalvin Cook, my thing is if I sit him down and he's playing, and I don't care who else is behind him, I'm going to pretty much feel bad. I'm going to regret it at the end of the game. So I'm going to go ahead with Dalvin Cook, and I'm just pretty much live and die by that decision every day, all day.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Chase Benjamin off of YouTube. Do I start Anthony Harris over Biard or Adderley?
Harris has looked good.
Yeah, he has. But if you like a little gamble, I would play Byard just because Zach Wilson and the chances of him throwing interceptions today. Like we said earlier, that Jets offense has not been very good at all. He's had the one game with 3 or 4 picks, so if you rattle him, he's going to make some mistakes, especially being a rookie. So if you like to gamble, I would take Byard as the higher ceiling. If you like to play it safe, I would probably go like Logan said and maybe go Anthony Harris if you're wanting to go play safe floor.
Yeah, Byard could be in for some big plays with Zach Wilson. That'd be good.
All right. Schultz 328 on YouTube. Start 2 of these guys: Hunter, Bosa, Baby Bosa, or Brian Burns.
Well, I'd find a way to start all 3 if it was me.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
who does Carolina got today?
Carolina has Dallas.
Yeah, Cowboys
in Dallas. It's tough. I'm staying. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead with the other 2 then. Bosa could get to Russell Wilson, but that's gonna also be a tough matchup there because he could be elusive from time to time. So
you definitely start Hunter.
Yeah. The other 2.
I think you go Hunter and Bosa. I think is how I would go.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, that Dallas is playing pretty well. So I hate it. I hate to say that. It's just like it's burning my throat as like the words are coming out. But they're playing pretty well. So I think that you're going to see more of the same today. And then also, like I said, I mean, with CMC being out, I think that hurts them as well. There's going to be a lot of 3 and outs I could see, or even some turnovers there because they're going to have to rely heavily on Darnold, and Dak is going to have all the advantage and possessions that you could get today.
Yeah, what do you think, Logan? What does your rankings say?
Yeah, I've got Hunter and Bosa both in the top 5, and then Burns at 8. So I've got Burns a couple spots lower, but I mean they're all top 10 guys. So I think Hunter and Bosa.
Yep. All right. Chase Benjamin on YouTube. Jordan Brooks or Kirksey?
Get the Bills,
right? I'd go Kirksey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go Kirksey.
All right. Any thoughts on that, Logan? What's your ranking saying?
Let me see where I got them. I'm looking at the defensive line, but that's why they're not on there. So Brooks, I've got, and Kirksey, I got him high 20, 26, 27 side by side. So
not good options, not the greatest options, which I would say, but
I don't
right
think
there.
they're not horrible options. If it's like your third linebacker at the bottom, they're they're good linebacker threes for sure. But the Bills don't run a ton, man. And I don't see him getting to Josh Allen. Jordan Brooks has been pretty consistent with like 7, 8, 9 tackles, I think. So that's the safe play. Kirksey, I guess. Yeah, I think Brooks, man. I got them side by side. They're both not great plays, but they're both viable lower end options for sure. So.
And he says it's his third linebacker spot, so that's probably good safe place to be playing them. Good stuff. All right. So so we're gonna keep doing this for another. It looks like 22 minutes. We're just over the halfway mark. We do this from 11 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon Eastern every Sunday morning, and we go through and answer every question that comes through. So definitely make sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're coming through YouTube. Like our Facebook, IDP Guys. Find us on Twitter at IDP Guys, and of course, like, go to the website, guys, idpguys.org. Become a subscriber, get tons of information and help week in, week out, 24/7 with our Slack chat. It is a lot of our subscribers that come through and get into the Slack chat say that is the single best thing that they have to help win their league each year. So
there's a ton of questions in there all the time going on.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So I have what are you guys thinking about Josh Jacobs this week? Coming back from injury, do you think he plays, and do you think he plays well?
I'd start him. I think that Raiders offense is real. He's going to have to help Derek Carr a little bit there. We also saw what the guys in Dallas were able to do against that defense, against the Chargers. So I like Josh Jacobs in that spot. And also I think he's going to be motivated because those backups have been producing. So I don't think he wants to have any issues there moving forward. So I think he wants to make sure that he's solidified his starting position in Las Vegas. So I think he's going to be motivated again. That he's just one of those backs that if he's on the field, whether he's 100%, 90 or 80%, I'm just going to go with him.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah, I got him going in the Scott Fish Bowl. So that team has just been riddled with injuries. So it's not my year. It's not my year. But yeah. So let's see. You guys got any personal questions that you're looking at today?
I've got one that my friend's been asking me about all week. He's got to pick two out of Sermon, Ayuk, and both the Atlanta backfield, so Davis and Patterson. It's kind of a dirty one.
Yeah.
I told him Patterson, and I hate to start both Atlanta backs, so I'm going Ayuk because Kittle's kind of tempered, but Ayuk is still.
Yeah, I think that's where I'd go. I would go with Patterson, and who was the other? Sermon? Is it?
Yeah, I'm not. He got outsnapped by a fullback last week. He worries me, man. He worries me.
I like Ayuk in this situation. Yeah. And the over just went up again. It went up by a full point, so now it's set at 52.5. So they're thinking that it's going to be a lot of points being put up there in San Fran, and they're playing in San Fran. So I like Ayuk. I think that people overreacted the first week one when he had zero anything. But I think Ayuk is definitely somebody else you have to play. Just pretty much live with the results at the end.
Gotcha.
Okay.
There we are. Joe E on YouTube. What are your thoughts on the Dallas linebacker position group? Who is the guy to own going forward? Jalen or Micah Parsons? ? Micah.
Micah's that guy.
Definitely Micah.
Micah's that guy. Listen, I don't know if you guys remember. There was a play last week where pretty much he like ran down the running back from the middle of the field all the way down. That 40 time that he ran, that's no joke, man. That's like he I think he ran like a 4.45, and that's scary at the linebacker position. So again, I forget. I think it was like in the third or fourth quarter, but he pretty much ran down the receiver coming out the backfield and prevented a big play from happening. So I like Micah. He's pretty much 100% all the time out there. So I think he's definitely showing that he was worth that first round pick down there in Dallas, and I like him moving forward.
Yeah, it's definitely Micah. And if you can get him because last week he played some defense, he's been playing defensive end. So if you can play him at defensive end in your leagues, that's like a cheat code right there because he's just, he's just so good.
Yeah, I would just watch, like he said, like Hollywood said, he's been playing some DN. So he has kind of taken a little bit of hit for value as a linebacker, but like going forward, once they kind of get their defense a little figured out, he's going to be that starting middle linebacker. 3 down. He's an athlete. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Any thoughts on the other guys out there? I mean, I haven't been keeping close eye on them, but like, the old crew of like Leighton Vander Esch, who used to be like a star, has he been doing much?
Jalen had looked a lot better. He got more points as soon as Micah went to DN, so Jalen kind of took back and looked good there. Leighton's kind of pedestrian, if I remember.
Yeah, I think with both of them, if either one of them, as soon as they have a good game, I'd try to move them. Because like Logan said, it's once they get some pieces back on the defensive line, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, and they get some of those pieces back, he's going to move back to linebacker, and that's going to kill Smith and LVE. So if they have a good game today, I'm trying to move them. Or as soon as they have a good game, move on from them.
Gotcha. There we go.
And they brought in Keanu Neal as well, so I think he's on COVID right now. But like he's a good player. He's going to start to eat into those as well. So yeah, Micah's the only one I don't think is going to take a hit there.
Right.
Gotcha. Good stuff. All right. So get your questions in, guys. Send a message in the chat here. Comment on the post that you're seeing this video, and we will get your questions answered. Let's talk a little Giants. Will, can you diagnose what's going on there? What's wrong with the Giants right now, and how do they turn it around? And do they turn it around? Can they make a play for that division lead?
Well, listen, first off, let's start off with Monday Night Football. Everybody was either going with the Cowboys or the Eagles. I was personally hoping for a tie. I was hoping for a tie for that game to end, and those two teams would go into Week 4 1-1-1. Personally, it didn't happen. Dallas is looking for real. Again, I do hate to say that and to admit that, but I think we definitely have a challenge today going up against New Orleans. In New Orleans, I think that's a real team. We're gonna have some issues with Kamara, and also on top of that, we got some people that are out. Right, Shepard's out, Slayton's out, so a lot's gonna be riding on Danny Dimes. I'm still gonna stay with my guy Danny Dimes, until he's no longer with us. But Galladay has to step up. I mean, he got that big contract this offseason. So I'm hoping that he steps up. The defense has to do something. And we just need, but then at the same time, we need better play calling. Jason Clapp a lot doesn't call in a lot of good plays. In my opinion, he has the same shenanigans that he was doing in Dallas, which is why he's no longer there as the head coach. Don't understand really why he's our offensive coordinator. But I think it's going to be Kadarius Toney's season starting today. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, that guy's a weapon, right? That guy's I think a sub 4.3 coming out of college in his 40 times. So you just got to get him the ball. Looking forward to having that happen. And then I'm looking for a big game. Like I said, a big game from Danny Dimes because we're down to receivers in Slayton and Shepard. And Shepard was pretty much having about like 9 or 10 targets or receptions a game. So we're not, even though we are winless entering week 4, we're still not out of it mathematically. And that's the way that I like to keep it. I like to have a positive mindset until we're mathematically out of it and then go from there. But this just came in, Nathan, and I think you're going to be pretty excited about this. Andy Dalton is officially inactive for Chicago today. So that means that Justin Fields is going to probably be the main guy there. So that's even a better position there for your beloved Detroit Lions out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd be okay with the win against the Bears. I know that kind of goes against the idea of tanking and all that stuff, but sometimes it's been a little heartbreaking in a way with these losses, because I was expecting this year just to get steamrolled by everyone, and to see the team like really rally back in a lot of these games, make them close. I don't know. You kind of want to just see it break through one time. That last loss to Baltimore with the Tucker 66 yard kick. You ask any coach and they say, so the game comes down to you win or the opponent makes a 66-yard kick. I think a coach will say that they'll take those chances every day of the week. And we got into that position and they made it. And that's the second record-breaking kick to happen against the Lions in their career here. So let's get into. We got a question that just popped up. Thoughts on Alex Anzalone? Is he startable?
How many linebackers do you have to start? I guess would be my question. If you're starting 3, 4, 5 linebackers, then yeah, he's probably worth a start. But if you're only starting 2, 3 or less, then I would look elsewhere.
I mean, against Justin, yeah, he's definitely he's definitely a start this week, definitely.
All right, what do you think, Logan?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking how Hollywood said he's more of a low end option, but with Fields there, Fields could run and he could very much
true
have some opportunity there. I think he's a really good linebacker 3, kind of lower to 2 this week.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just don't think that Chicago is going to be able to change around what happened within. Last week it was just a horrible showing from Fields, and I think we get more of the same today. I don't think it's going to be corrected in 7 days. It's just not possible.
He's getting a good amount of snaps too, so he's got good opportunity.
And yeah, he says he would be my 3rd linebacker.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, if he's your 3rd, then I'm okay with that.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Chase Benjamin on YouTube. Dante Fowler, Romeo Aquara, or Franklin Myers as my DL3.
I might go Franklin Myers here against my Titans. They're still having some issues along the line, and Lawan's not quite look like himself. So, with the receivers out, there's going to be a lot of running going on, even with Tannehill, I think. So, I think I would go John Franklin Myers here.
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry may set the record for most rushing attempts today. I just think it's going to be one of those games in New York. With Julio, both Julio and AJ Brown out. He's going to get all the snaps that you could get and all the opportunities today. So that's a good one. Just a default. It's just a numbers game at this point. Law of averages.
Just the pure volume that he's going to see is going to make it worth it.
Gotcha. All righty. So I'm going to make this last call. So if you got any questions, get them in now. We are going to end this show here shortly. But before we do that, Hollywood,
yes,
we haven't talked about your Titans very much. So what are you seeing in this game? And what do you like about the Titans game today? Do you think they win? Do you think Derrick Henry goes off? Talk to me.
Yeah, like Will said, they're going to feed him all day long, and it's probably not going to end up well for the Jets. I mean, it's really not ended up well for anybody that's tried to stop him. And with Julio out and A.J. Brown out, I said it a couple of weeks ago, I think Chester Rogers is a play. I think I forget his name. He's got a funny name.
Westbrook, Icon.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
I think those are going to be probably your two best receivers. Maybe they look at tight end a little bit, but I think you're going to see Tannehill maybe run a little more. I could see, their backups, Mekhi Sargent and the other guy. My brain's going blank today. Yeah, they're going to get some carries to spell Henry, but I think everything is going to funnel and run through Henry, and they're even throwing to him now. So he's getting, I'm curious to see what Will thinks here. I took the prop bet on Henry over 30 yards receiving today. I think he's done that 2 out of the 3 games so far. So
I love that.
Now that you've got him running, now they're throwing to him and letting him get a full head of steam. I just think everything's going to run through him. So they're going to have their hands full.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. I mean, I think anything under, I'd say, especially for a starting running back, 40 yards is too low. So I think at 30, that's a good number right there. And I'd also mix it in with an anytime touchdown, or if you're feeling really risky here, Hollywood, put him down for 2 touchdowns for the game, because I think that he's gonna be able to get at least 1 rushing touchdown. He may be able to get another one. So if you put pretty much any player at 2 touchdowns for the game and you mix it up with something else, those odds are there. So again, low risk but a very, very high reward. So I like Derrick Henry again. I'm gonna go heavy on him in this game.
Yeah, I saw a boost earlier for Henry. It was 150 rush yards and 2 scores today.
What was the odds on that?
It had a boost. I think it was plus 250. I think it was.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's pretty decent.
I mean, I think he's going to see 30 plus carries, and when he had 35, he went 180 and 3 touchdowns and 50 yards received. Yeah, I think you smash all the overs on Henry today. I'm not a big betting guy, but just about.
And then again on the flip side, you just have to look at how it's going to play out, right? Zach Wilson is not good. He's going to turn the ball over at least once, right? So that means he's going to get Tennessee another couple more possessions that they originally had. So that's just going to give Tannehill and Derrick Henry going to be able to do the thing. Also, think about this. They go up early in this game. There's no reason for you to put anybody else in harm's way. Just give it to Derrick Henry. You're already out. Your 2 star receivers. Just hand the ball over. Let that clock run down and win. Even if it's an ugly game and it ends, with a 21-10 or 21-7. Just go ahead and be happy with that win at the end of the game.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We got our last call of questions. Quinn Williams or Chris Jones at defensive tackle?
Chris Jones.
He's playing DN too a lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit of cheat code.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Chase Benjamin asks, Allen Robinson, Emmanuel Sanders, Tim Patrick, or Myles Gaskin as his flex. So pick one.
Man, I tell you, Tim Patrick is so undervalued and underrated. He just shows up every week. As a flex, I like him. I'm pausing on Robinson until I can see something, there. And I don't think it's all his fault. I think it's just been the quarterback stuff. Sanders had the good game, a week or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a Patrick guy. I think that's where I'd go for my flex.
Again, I just think Baltimore's defense, even though they have given up a lot of passing yards these past 2 games, it's either between Patrick and then Emmanuel Sanders. I'm staying away from the other 2 here, but my first pick is going to be Tim Patrick. I mean, that dude, he's he, like you said, he's undervalued. I mean, just everywhere. If you're looking at player props, if you're looking at DFS, I don't care what book you're looking at. He's definitely undervalued. And then Emmanuel Sanders is pretty much hit or miss. But Bills do have a favorable matchup today. I mean, they're favored by 18.5 points right now, which is ridiculous. It's like a college line. So, that's going to be something to look at. But yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to go with Tim Patrick.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Yeah. I think this is the week for Allen Robinson to bounce back. It's hard to sit him, especially if you got him as a flex. If I think Fields will have to rely on him if he wants to succeed, he's gonna have to throw to Allen Robinson. Like you said, Sanders a little hit or miss, but they could score a ton of points, and it could be Beasley, Gabriel Davis, and Dawson Knox. But Tim Patrick is your safe option. I like Tim Patrick as your safe option. But if you're an Allen Robinson believer, and this is his week to bounce back for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Patrick's your safe option there.
The two things with Robinson is the uncertainty at quarterback, and then who are they going to be able to protect whoever the quarterback is? So,
I think Fields is. I think I saw that he's supposed to get the start, especially when you said Dalton's inactive. I think Fields is going to get that start for sure. But if Foles gets in there somehow, I really actually like Robinson there.
Yeah, I probably would too. I mean, if you can get him in there, but I would still question, are they going to be able to protect him up front? But yeah.
Nick Foles, listen, that'll be very, very comical if he does come into the game. I'll be laughing whenever that does happen.
Hey man, he's a Super Bowl MVP. Will, come on now.
You're right. Listen, you're right. You are right. So, but I just as a start, I mean, as a head coach, just pretty much offering up all three quarterbacks as an option, a week later, that's just kind of concerning to me. So I think somebody from the top office has to come in and pretty much intervene and be like, hey, listen, Nagy, stop playing games. We drafted this guy. He's a high draft pick. Let's just go with him. Stop offering up all three quarterbacks. And then, Dalton's not even playing. He's just been announced inactive. So,
Gotcha. Let's see. Last question here from Jason Goodall. Would you start Anzalone over Jordan Brooks?
I don't think so.
I don't think I would either.
Yeah, Brooks is real solid, consistent. He's on. But like we said earlier, Anzalone's going to get those, get the chances against Justin Fields.
Yeah,
but it's not a bad position to be in when you have those two to pick. It's not a bad option, but I just don't see how Justin Fields is gonna have a better game than he did last week. I just think it's gonna be more of the same, and I think that the defense is pretty much gonna take a blueprint out of what they did last week and pretty much go after him because he's gonna get rattled.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. That was it. That's it for our week 4 start sit show. Thanks everyone for showing up and answering questions, and thanks to our listeners for asking the questions and keeping the show going. Make sure that you are following us on socials at IDP Guys, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel here, IDP Guys Network. You can also find audio podcasts at IDP Guys Network if you search for it on any podcatcher. As well as go to idpguys.org and become a subscriber. We got Logan's weekly rankings. We've got dynasty rankings that are consensus of like 6 guys going 700 players deep. We've got ADP. We've got tools for evaluating drafts and actually custom rankings where you can put in your own scoring and it changes the rankings based off projections. And then we have the subscriber Slack chat, which is one of our key tools for in-season help, where you get 30 guys plus all the other subscribers chiming in to answer your questions. So tons of great input there. We help people win their leagues every year. So with that, we're going to sign off here, and we're going to just go around the room real quick. Remind everyone where they can find you and what you got going on, and then let's go set our own lineup. So let's start with you, Logan. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Sports Talk Smart. And then, like you said, you can hit me up in the Slack chat if you're a subscriber and help with your starts and sits and trade questions, stuff like that.
Awesome. Will, go for it.
At Biased Opinions _ on Twitter, doing a lot of betting content, player props, same game parlays, DFS content, not only for NFL but also college. again, as Logan alluded to, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to hit me up, slide in them DMs.
Nice. Hollywood, bring it home.
Yeah, idpguys.org, of course. Articles, rankings, all that good stuff. IDP Nation podcast with Kyle and the Daily IDP Grind podcast. And then, of course, we do the IDP Lounge on Saturday nights. And then I'm here with you every Sunday, reluctantly. You know,
Yeah,
force me to
hangover
get up early.
or not.
I don't like that.
Alrighty. Okay, guys. Until next week, we will see you then. Good luck with your week 4 NFL. All right. Adios.
Bye,
Later,
everybody.
guys.